Hi girls, this is the video for 4D ordering fractions, and so I just want you to remember that ascending order means smallest to largest. Like these are ordered smallest to largest. And then descending order means largest to smallest. And you know how I am, I made a mistake here. This is ascending, obviously. So let's scribble that out and go descending with those numbers. Would be the biggest one, and then the next one, oops, and then I'll rub out for a minute, and then the next one. Okay, so that's descending. All right, now when we're ordering fractions and we have the same denominator, so let's highlight that, same denominator. You know, that's like we talked about before. We have a chocolate bar that's split into 5 bits. You have 2 of them. Chocolate bar in 5 bits, you have 1. Chocolate bar in 5 bits, you have 6. That's more than a whole chocolate bar. So that's definitely the biggest one, and that's the smallest, and that's the next. So when the denominators are the same, let's say I'm going, so ascending, 1/5 is definitely the smallest, and I think everybody gets that without me explaining too much. Okay. When ordering, when the numerators are the same, so when ordering when numerators are the same, I'm going to leave that just in case that glitched before. That's a little bit different. It can be kind of confusing. So here's the situation. The candy bar or the chocolate bar is broken into 7 bits. It's broken into 3 bits, same size bar, or it's broken into 11 bits. So the pieces in this, even though I made it even wrong, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Girls, you don't have to draw those. These pieces are really tiny, and I have 5 of them. These pieces are really big, and I have 5 of them. And these pieces are kind of medium, and I have 5 of them. So definitely, this one is the biggest. And this one is the smallest. So if I'm going smallest to largest, ascending, that's what we usually do. The most tiny piece is that's less than a half, because 5 on 10 is a half. Then 5 on 7 is the middle one, so getting close to a whole chocolate bar. And 5/3 is more than a chocolate bar. It's way more, so it's the biggest. Okay, now ordering when the denominators are different and the numerators are different and all that. Okay, so that's a bit crazy. One thing you could do is you could get out your fraction sheet, and I'm just going to give you a sneaky preview of that. Remember your fraction sheet that you have in your book from last term? That's a really helpful thing when ordering fractions. But let's say that you didn't have that. Something you could do is find the least common multiple here. And when we do least common multiple with the denominator of a fraction, we often call it least common denominator. Now, you can make a list and list all the things that all the multiples of 2, all the multiples of 3, and all the multiples of 5. We could be going for quite some time. Or another way to do that is to multiply all these numbers together. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 5 is 30. So one way to find this is to multiply the denominators together, and that'll get me the least common denominator. So I'm going to kind of write these 3 fractions here with 2 times 5, which is 2 times 3, I'm sorry girls, times 6, times 5 is 30. And we're going to use our building skills that we learned last week. Okay, so I'm starting with a half right here, and I want to turn that into something over 30. Some of you know the answer already, but my claim is this. I must have multiplied 2 by 15. My writing is terrible today, girls. I must have multiplied 2 by 15 to get 30, so I'm going to have to multiply the top by 15. 1 times 15. And then I had 2/3. And what is it that you multiply 3 by to get 30? Well, that's an easy one. That's 10. So I have to multiply the top by 10. And then I had 3 on 5. And what is it that you multiply 5 by to get 30? 6. So this is just from last week. So 6 times 3 is 18. Now I have all the denominators the same, and I can compare the tops. And 15 over 30 is the smallest, and 18 over 30 is the next, and 20 over 30 is the next. And that's a really lovely way to do all your working and show the teacher you know what you're doing. Okay, that's the first video for